Mrs. Obama warned that another term under Republican nominee and former President Donald Trump would result in further rollbacks to abortion rights. Speaking alongside Mrs. Obama in Kalamazoo, Michigan, Kamala Harris warned Donald Trump would exercise unchecked and extreme power. We'll bring you more details on this as we move on. But let's bring in global affairs analyst Habib Salau, who joins us from Cincinnati, Ohio, for more on the election. Mr. Salau, let me begin by asking what the mood is like, counting down to the elections, and if you actually have been able to vote for a candidate of your choice in this election.
Good morning. Thank you for having me. There is a very high feeling of uncertainty in the air. People are living with a palpable fear of possible outcomes either way. And so this last-minute effort to ensure that votes can get swayed in favor of different candidates is not something they're playing with, considering the fact that we've seen how, in the past last-minute news or engagement have actually changed the outcome of the election. And I should vote today.
All right.
To answer your question.
All right, then. And it does appear that both Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are neck and neck in this election. Do you foresee a major shift, before November 5?
I am afraid I don't. I think a lot of minds have been made. However, considering the fact that with former President Trump, there's a very, very strong opinion, among his followers, except something extremely damaging comes up between now and the last day. I don't see how that will change the support that he currently enjoys.
All right, but both candidates have been receiving support from different sides. The Obamas are fully with Kamala Harris, and of course they've been championing that cause of reproductive rights. Of course, Elon Musk, on the other hand, is with Donald Trump, and he's not hiding his support for the former president. How much of an impact do you see these support forces have in influencing the election outcomes?
The personalities that you've mentioned have their base. They have people that follow them. However, I think it's deeper than that. For President Trump, he, to a very strong extent, still connects with his base, and many of the sentiments that the Obamas are trying to, ginger voters to pay attention to, do not mean anything to, deep core Republicans. So it's almost like, we're at a point where nobody knows what's going to happen. It's very dicey. The Republicans can, think it's an easy course to victory because, rather the Democrats, because they've seen what Donald Trump is capable of doing, especially with his base. So yes, it may get more people to vote, but the sad part of it is popular votes will not take you to the White House. So the core, states, the electoral college, as it appears, is the decider in this case. And Donald Trump, to a very large extent, still has a very strong hold on his base. So it's going to be very, very close.
Very close. But eventually we know that someone would emerge winner in that election. One of the points that Elon Musk made when he was campaigning alongside Donald Trump was that he would save the United States about $2 trillion through what he calls a Department of Government Efficiency. How do you suppose this could pan out?
So, when billionaires begin to throw their weight behind political leaders, people need to step back a little bit to understand what exactly is in it for them and not the people. So with a lot of tax breaks and, the policies that tend to protect many of these so-called, wealthy men in America, I believe there is an ulterior motive behind the support that Elon is currently championing for President Trump. And is not something that would, turn out well for day-to-day Americans. You would find out that in many cases, regular Americans even pay more taxes than these billionaires. So you have to sit down and look at what the emergence of former President Trump as the president again would mean to you. And then we all know, most times they make it look like it's an African thing when they say, second term brings out the worst in people. It's the same everywhere. I believe if Donald Trump emerges, things are going to be tougher for Americans. And there'll be a lot of the division that we currently see, which pretty much became institutionalized when, or rather entrenched when and strengthened when Donald Trump was president, will become worse. I don't know if you recently had this rally in New York where people came and were chanting racist slurs and all that. It would continue. He has been able to trigger the dividing factors between Americans more than the uniting factors. So and Elon Musk saying that is mostly something from an economic advantage for people in this category.
All right, Mr. Salawu. I'll place you on hold for a moment. Let's take this report put together by a reporter on the countdown to the election, and we'll continue the conversation.